how easily we can leverage the expertise of other people. And once you start, looking at how it's been leveraged for high-stake business decisions, you sort of adapt it in your personal life as well. So I don't want to think about certain things like, oh, so before I actually invest or buy or, go somewhere, I'll probably go and talk to other people. They may not be, expert, but still, I think it's just kind of the mindset. And for me, it's big shift in this mindset since I started working with expert networks.
You bring up an interesting point about them not necessarily being experts. I think there's expertise and then there's experience are the two words that I'll mention a lot. And sometimes I want to speak with someone who's not, where they would self-describe themselves or others would describe themselves as an expert on something. I mean, if you think about it, like travel reviews, for example, or restaurant reviews, I bet more often than not, you go to a restaurant because a friend went to that restaurant and enjoyed it versus reading the food critics in, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, kind of major publications. And not to critique those models, I think they serve a very valuable position in exchanging information. But more often than not, we end up speaking with people who it's something based on their experience, not necessarily where they would define themselves as a true expert. And I think one of the things that you end up seeing when you look at a lot of these sort of diligence calls that clients are doing, especially when they're doing them at scale, like a management consulting firm will do 80 to 100 calls on a certain project. They're not only speaking with the former CEOs and the CFOs. They want to speak with the people who have the experience where they've done something in the space. Maybe they've been a customer, and they definitely wouldn't necessarily talk about themselves as being an expert in something. And that was one of the things that used to come up a lot, particularly on those sort of customer angle type of projects that I remember back when I used to be calling experts and vetting them for project. They would answer the phone and I would tell them a little bit about the project, and they would say, well, I'm not really an expert on this. I work in this industry. We just happen to be a customer of something. And it's really that experience that you're actually looking for, and not necessarily what society may describe or deem as expertise. That's a really important thing that even further broadens